welcome on and all. So for the SBA, so the description of the SBA, the first part is just getting into a brief history of general elections, stating that they happen once every whenever, why we have it, and so on. It's not really relevant. Second part is where they tell you the instructions. So in preparation for the actual exercise, so the actual exercise in this case is the national general election they're talking about. So in preparation for that, the Trinidad Election Commission hired you being the person who's doing this SBA or the group that's doing this SBA. They hired you to simulate an election exercise to run as a test run. So you're just making a fake exercise, fake election as a test. This will happen prior to the actual election, which will take place shortly. Then they go on to tell you you'll be using Microsoft Word, spreadsheet, database, programming, and so on. So that's the basically the description of the SBA, the description of the project you'll be doing. So we get into the first part, which is spreadsheets. Now, we won't start with spreadsheets, but spreadsheet just has some information for us. It has the four parties, Workers, National Alliance, Democratic Action Party, and so on, the other two. And it has the constituencies. Now, we'll actually be starting with we're just going to start with the word processing. The word processing has two parts, document 1, document 2. Now document 1 is going to cover fillable forms, which we have notes on, but we haven't done it practically in class yet. And document 2 is going to cover mail merge. So what you should do is have the instructions side by side with the actual work you're doing, so you can always look over to see the instructions. So so it's an example of a fillable form what you'll need. So once you have look at the instructions, look at the document. So A, design a fillable form. It must allow for relevant entry of data, including the constituency. So that gave you a very broad scope. You can put a lot of things in that form because they didn't specify what they want or what they don't want. So you can have first name, middle name, last name, or you can just have first name and last name. They didn't specify. Contact information, national ID. What you should do is look at an actual template of a nomination form to see what information is usually collected. Or could just have what we have here. So personal data, educational background, political data, and so on. So no, keep in mind we don't want you to actually fill this up with anybody's name, address, or something. We just want the fillable form. We just want a form with the blank slots for you to put in. So to do fillable form, should have an option up here called developer. If you don't see it, go to options, customize ribbon. You should find it here. See, now it should show up developer. So here's where you add all of these in. But you don't have to worry about that. Now you can just start by adding in this like first name and so on. You'll add this part next. You'll add this part later where you add the check boxes and the fillable entries. So document 2. Document 2 is what you're going to be starting with because we covered mail merge and everyone should be able to do this. So let me pull up an example of a mail merge. All right. So here's the example of a mail merge. Screen, maybe a little hard to see, so let me, does not make it better. All right, so this is the contents of the mail merge. Keep in mind it needs a letterhead with the logo and all of that. So you need a mail merge. It needs to be designed on letter size paper 0.7, blah blah blah. Just go through this, make sure all of it matches what your document has. So the main point of explaining this, the table. So it mentions it should have a summary table. Look at not option, number 6. A summary table of results include at least 7 rows and so on. So you're going to leave this part blank. Just leave a space for a table to be put in. This table needs to be created during the Excel part. So when you finish creating the Excel part, we just come back to this document and input a table. So you just need to leave a blank spot. Now your letter can follow the same format, but remember it needs to be mail merge. Alright, so you just need to make sure that all of the content matches the instructions over here. Last one, close with your name, your position as Chief Electoral Officer. That's here. Same with the others. You need a commissioner letterhead. Letterhead is right here with the logo, which covers number 2. Same thing, should look something like this. Now for the addresses are fake. You just create an address to put where you're located at. Some fake address. Phone number, same thing. Okay, so next you need a web page. Now we've done web page a lot in class, so you just need to design a web page following these specifications here. So this is an example. Now this web page is very minimalistic. There's not a lot on it. Yours should have more. So it should have the logo. Logo is very small up there. You have a home page. Again, just follow the specifications. You can design it how you want. It should display information. So this second one, it should display information. Just like how the mail merge has a table here displaying information, you want the same for the web page. So just leave a space where you can input a picture or a screenshot of the Excel table. And lastly, a link to the commission's email. Just like it says, you'll have a link to at the bottom for the email. That's pretty much it. That's for the Word part. After the Word part, we'll be moving back to the spreadsheet part where we'll complete that, and then we'll follow normal linear progression. We'll go to database, and lastly the programming. Now you should be working on this in your groups. Everyone, next time I see you to discuss SBAs, you should all have your flash drive, one flash drive per group. Now keep in mind, don't have your SBAs, please do not come to me when you're in Farm 5 asking about recommendation. If I don't see you working in your SBA, please don't come ask me for recommendation. Thank you.